I've been cleaning up some things in Hatchbox internally, and one of the things I wanted to show you was drop-in configuration files on Linux. So this is a very common pattern, but you'll often need to, when you configure like a server, something like the SSH config has password authentication set to yes by default, and you need to go and uncomment this and change it to no, and that's what all the advice on the internet says. And so you end up like, okay, how do I do that in a script or something? And of course you can use like sed or awk, where basically like with sed, you can have a regex that looks for an uncommented, or actually in this case, a commented password authentication line. And you can then remove the hash symbol to uncomment it, and then replace the yes with a no, and then save this file in place. And that's what we've been doing, since the beginning, just because it was the obvious thing to go do to start with. But over time, I realized, that's not actually the best way to configure things. Because if you pay attention a little closer, oftentimes you're so focused on what I'm trying to get done that you miss something like this. So this include here is going to include all the files in etc, ssh, sshd, config.d, and anything that ends with a .conf. And what this does, what you can see here, it says that the configuration options from snippets in this folder take precedence over those defined in this file. So instead of having to modify this file, when we configure a server, we can simply just upload a new file. We don't worry then about any conflicts in here. So a user may have modified something, and we might uncomment in the wrong place because they put their password authentication option before ours or after ours or something, and we find the wrong thing. And, we end up with situations where it can sort of make mistakes that way. So instead, by uploading these configuration files in the .d folder, we can add something like a hatchbox conf. And oftentimes these are prefixed. If order matters, you'll prefix it with a number, so you can have 0 to 99 or even higher, and then they'll just take whatever order. And oftentimes, if you're adding your own stuff, you want to do 99. It's kind of the default. So here, I can just add password authentication no, and then voila, this is going to be set. And because it is set before that other configuration file is loaded, this takes precedence and basically ignores whatever settings are in that file. So the default being yes, ignored, and it uses password authentication no, and requires logging in with SSH keys for Hatchbox. And this is awesome. So this is like something that etc apt sources.list. This is where it says, here's the Ubuntu sources that we want to get all of our packages from. But if you open this file, this is kind of a legacy thing left alone, because they also have a sources.list.d folder, and they've actually moved the Ubuntu sources into there. We can add our own for Postgres or Git or MySQL or whatever else in there, and that also works. So just looking at the Ubuntu sources, here's where all of those are set, and you can see them listed right here. So that's pretty handy. But this also works for things like log rotate. There is a logrotate.conf, and this is kind of just the general settings for everything, but you need to be able to override this. And so this has an include etc logrotate.d. So it gives it that folder. This one doesn't care about the file extensions or whatever, so it doesn't, filter to a specific thing. And, the default is 4 weeks worth of backlogs, which in a production application might be way too much and fill up your disk space. So instead, you can go in here and look at these files. Let's list those out. Logrotate.d, that's right, sorry. There we go. And you'll see here there's a whole bunch that come with Ubuntu by default, and then we have our Hatchbox one that we can add to this folder. And we don't have to touch any of the existing files unless we do want to override one of those things, like we will do with our syslog here. Meant to open that. So for example, with this, we don't want to accidentally keep way too many logs and fill up your disk space and take down production, so we can limit it limit it to a max size of 1 gig, and then we can change it to say, let's rotate daily instead of weekly, and we'll just keep 4 days worth of logs, and encourage you to actually ship your logs out to BetterStack or some, AppSignal or some logging tool so that you can permanently save those for, a 30-day retention period or S3 forever, whatever you want to do. But we just want to make sure that, production doesn't go down because we accidentally wrote too many logs from our Rails app or whatever. So this is awesome. And the recommended way to do things. So occasionally there will be situations where you do need to edit something like this rsyslog file, change the defaults, and it might be better because log rotate doesn't allow you to have the same file names defined twice, because obviously that would conflict with the configuration or be very confusing. So in that case, we might have to actually edit that file or override it. But as much as possible, you want to, when you're configuring Linux boxes, just upload configuration files, have them, in the right order if the ordering matters, and that is the most seamless way to do this. And so part of the reason I'm doing this is we're working on a custom DigitalOcean image. So when we spin up a new box for your cluster in Hatchbox, then we'll use the new image. It will have a bunch of packages pre-installed. These configurations are ready to go, and you'll be able to deploy your application to the new server way faster that way. So it's going to be a really nice improvement, but I wanted to go back through and check, some of these things I wrote like 8 or 9 or 10 years ago or whatever. And so it was like what I knew at the time, but I might not have realized like, oh yeah, we should not edit this existing SSH config. Let's just add our own. I just never noticed the drop-in config folder or whatever. So yeah, if you've never seen this before, it is an incredibly handy thing to have in your toolkit.